Welcome to Hot Couple Chronicles, a podcast exploring the swinging lifestyle. Our discussions may contain explicit content and adult themes intended for mature audiences. While we strive to offer valuable insights and entertainment, please be aware that the views expressed are based on personal experiences and opinions. We encourage listeners to approach the content with an open mind and to prioritize communication, consent, and respect in their relationships. Remember, everyone's journey is unique, so take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Thank you for joining us on this adventure.
Welcome back. I'm Russ.
And I'm Ashley.
And this is
Hot Couple Chronicles. Welcome back. It's Thursday now. We
just released our third episode.
We just put out our third episode yesterday, Wednesday. So every Wednesday you get to hear some little snippet of our lives. But last weekend I spent the weekend with three of my closest girls, and they came over and we did a girls' weekend. It was a working weekend to make stickers and prepare for secrets and stuff, and then it turned into this whole big thing, and everybody was coming with all of their machines to come make stuff for secrets, and we didn't make anything for secrets, and it turned into
hanging out.
Everybody needed it for their soul. We've all been going through it, so it was much needed girls' weekend, but it was good. We all sat down and had a little talk. We did do a lot of working. We got some TikToks done, and more than we usually do. We did take pictures, and we got to have some fun too. We got to play a little bit, and it was good having everybody here. We love having them here. And so, but the audio on that one, that's my fault.
I had to work, so I wasn't here.
He was not here. He had to work, and I had never used any of the equipment by myself. He usually sets it up. I sit down and then just start talking into the microphone. And I could have swore it was working, and it turned out both microphones were not working, and we were just passing it around for nothing. But he worked really hard to get the audio to where it's supposed to be, and our podcast always has a video option with all of the captions on Spotify and YouTube. So if you would prefer that, I would definitely watch the video version instead. But that's my bad. I'm still learning. I still don't know what I'm doing here. We're still trying to figure it out, but it was too good of content not to put it out.
Yeah,
and there was
if it was just me and you, we would have scrapped it and re-recorded it.
But there's the chances of having all three of them here in my bed.
Yeah, it wasn't going to happen again. Like that. And if you tried to record it again, it wasn't going to be as genuine. No, and we had spent like 2 hours on it, and I hated to just get rid of it. So we did the best we could. It's a little wonky, but it's all right. It's all right. We're just going to get better from here. We're going to keep going. And yeah, that pretty much sums up last week. And now this week we're talking about something that all of our friends have been wanting us to talk more about is our BDSM journey. That's where we started.
That's how we kind of led us to this lifestyle. Because it's a whole separate lifestyle. We've kind of kept them separate over these past 3 years, really. Yeah. I mean, here and there we've had a little bit. People are very curious. Yeah. Everybody wants to.
We've dabbled in a little bit of impact play and stuff like that.
We've done rope bondage demonstrations. We went to Tempted last year and did that. And then we did a flogging demonstration. It was supposed to be a flogging demonstration. It was just like 5 minutes of me being flogged, turns out, but supposed to be a flogging demonstration. And we've had a few you've tied a few people, some of our friends, and we've pulled out some spanking. But other than that, we've really kept it pretty vanilla for the most part.
Yeah,
and we've not really gotten very deep. And it's hard. We've found it really hard to intermingle the lifestyles because the education isn't there in the swinger lifestyle. They think it's more of a kink for them, more of like pulling out the flogger.
My whole point is consent and safety.
Yeah, they are not. A lot of them aren't as educated on like aftercare and like consent and different, signals and
Yeah, I mean, I focus on those two things: consent and safety.
Yeah,
and when you're in a swinger club or in that space, there's alcohol.
Yeah, that's the number one thing, is that a lot of swingers use alcohol. And that's like the number one rule in the BDSM land is you do not consume alcohol or drugs before you play.
We did all of like attempted last year.
Yeah, we were completely drank water that whole time.
Drink anything until after we were done. And then I had a couple drinks. But I need to be fully aware and a sound mind.
That's one thing that just doesn't mix well. And people just aren't educated. It's not their fault. A lot of people in the lifestyle just aren't educated on BDSM lifestyle. So it gets a little bit messy. We've kind of pretty much kept them completely separate for the most part, but everybody's pretty aware that we're in this lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
And we have, since we joined this lifestyle, swinger lifestyle, we have kind of backed off of the BDSM completely, pretty much. And we have been pursuing non-monogamy now for 3 years. So we figured we'd go more in detail, though. Our friends are really curious. Our friends are always asking all the questions. There is a lot of curiosity. A lot of people who are very interested in it from.
So let's should we just dive into what our dynamic was?
I guess so.
Yeah. So, or where we started. I think we should
probably where we started. Yeah. Where we started.
Yeah, probably. So, I mean, we're talking probably 13, 14 years.
13 years now. Yeah, probably.
13, 14 years now.
Yeah.
I came across some rougher stuff on the internet.
Yeah. On the internet. You're allowed to say.
Porn. And I was intrigued and I liked it. And so
it was much like the swingers, like a lot of swingers, the way that they were introduced to the lifestyle. It was exactly how we were introduced to BDSM. You came to me after seeing stuff that you were interested in.
Yeah.
And had to come and sit down and approach me.
Instead of the swinger talk, like, I think I'm interested in this. Do you know, can we dabble in this?
It's very similar to that.
It was, hey, instead of swinger stuff, it was BDSM.
Yeah, BDSM stuff instead. But it was a very similar thing where you had to come to me and I was pretty vanilla at that point.
Yeah, and you weren't, you never once have ever said.
I was down. I just didn't understand it. There was a lot of stigma, like swinging, behind it where I thought you just were looking for an excuse because you wanted to see me in pain, period.
Yeah.
Like, that's as deep as I thought it got.
For me to beat you.
Just a way to beat me, make me hurt. That's it. And so I wasn't turned off and I was just, taken aback a little bit and I just wanted some time. I needed some time to just educate myself, much like swinging. Like it's a very similar journey. And then I was down, still didn't understand. Still, dove into like research.
You said you had to go look into it yourself.
Yeah.
And so we revisited the conversation.
Yeah.
Like a week or two later.
Yeah. And then we just slowly started incorporating a flogger, a handcuff.
Well, like you said, you like, okay, I'm willing to try this stuff, but these are my
what I don't.
This is what I do not want to do. These are
what scared the shit out of me. This is the stuff that scared me.
Yeah, these are my limits.
I don't think I can do that. Yeah.
Okay. And so we started experimenting.
Yeah.
And it was light bondage, handcuffs,
sensation play, a lot of wheels and a lot of feathers and
candle wax,
a lot of sensation play, a lot of we very slowly incorporated it into our life. I was very timid and cautious and I didn't want you to.
And as we got more comfortable through experimenting, we added different things.
Yeah.
And eventually we ended up in a 24/7 dynamic, which for those that you don't know, it's 24 hours, 7 days a week, everywhere, not just the bedroom.
I'm submissive.
You are submissive. Yeah. I was the dominant. And
at that point, I'd already, you already collared me.
Yeah.
I was wearing my collar and we just kind of made it 24/7 and it slowly started taking over.
It did.
Our life and it slowly started becoming who we were.
It started just in the bedroom, a couple nights a week.
And then it was daddy. And then, and then it was daddy around the kids. It was just daddy or, you were just daddy. And then it was I'd kneel at your knees or at your feet, watch TV. It was a lot of little things here and there. And then we slowly, you had the list of, we had a list that we had went over with contract, I guess you call it. I hate that word, but a contract of
an
tasks,
agreement.
An agreement and rules and, the consequences and different things I had to work on and you had to work on. And we did our own separate work.
Yeah.
You went and did your work and then I did mine and then we did it together. And it was a 24/7 thing. And then we had, people always ask us, how did we incorporate that with having 4 babies? At that time, we had little babies.
Yeah.
At that time. And a lot of like hand signals, subtle things that we incorporated, and I still had my code words. And I was like, he was working a lot at that time. And I was very much like the head of the household. It was me and the kids all the time. So I was in charge of the home. I still did all of that.
And when I wasn't home, we had an app that we were connected with that we could communicate and I could
check off all my stuff. Yeah. And you could see I was doing it. And most of the tasks, people always ask what the tasks were. Most of the tasks were like for me, not for you. Like most of it.
Because most of it was for your health.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And your self-improvement.
Yeah. It was like drinking enough water.
Yeah. Journaling,
stuff like that. It was nothing really too crazy or hard. And it wasn't anything. It wasn't him making me do things like, shine his shoes all the time or whatever. But it was a lot of working on me.
Yeah. But you are very much a service sub. You enjoy being of service.
Yeah.
So
I like having tasks. I enjoyed that part about it. I loved that part about it. I fought it for a while though. I wasn't a very good sub. I am now, but I was not at that point. I wasn't used. I was always very independent. I don't want a man tell me what to do type of vibe. And so it took me a minute to be, and then I would procrastinate. Yeah, and then I would whine and throw fits.
Well, sometimes you do fits just because
I wanted punished.
Yeah.
We had to work through that quite a bit because I do enjoy being.
But then the punishment wasn't what you. I'm a sadist.
Yeah, I'm a masochist. Sorry.
Yeah. Then you realize
I wanted to be in pain sometimes.
The punishment wasn't what you wanted it to be.
I'm a good submissive. So it was that struggle with, I don't like bratting. I don't like brats, but I do like to be punished sometimes. I had to work on that. I had to figure that out.
Well, I had to pivot then too, because like, oh, she wants spanked. This is why she wants spanked.
Yeah. For fun, not for
fun.
Not for punishment. Yeah. Because I am a good girl and I do whatever I'm told.
But also, so I had to pivot the consequence. Be like, okay, you're not getting spanked.
Yeah.
Like
that was your punishment.
That is your punishment.
Yeah, that became more of my punishment than anything. Was you're not getting any of that. And so I had to work through that a lot. It took, years, many years. I'm probably the most submissive person I've ever met at this point. But it did not, we're talking, like you said, like 14 years now to get me there. But I'm a different human than I was then. I was full blown, like just had a baby, had little babies, toddlers, like mama for running a household and working full time and doing all this shit in the background. And then, adjusting to always being submissive was hard for me. Took me a couple years to figure that out. But yeah. And now, like we said, now we've pretty much pulled back from all of our BDSM stuff.
Well,
we still incorporate it.
We still do it for fun. Yeah. It's not the 24/7 dynamic.
No, we're not in the and I don't wear my collar every day, and it's not
at the forefront of our life.
Right now.
Real life stuff.
Yeah. He works third shifts.
I work it's
weekends, and so schedule is just weird right now, and our kids are older. It's a lot harder it's a lot harder to subtly put it in there than it was, when we have teenagers and adults in our house. And now before we had toddlers and babies. So it's hard for me to
put a vibrator in your panties for you to walk around the house.
Yeah, it's a little harder to be subtle, and life just doesn't make it easy to be as kinky as we wanted to. So now, like swinging, it is very much like a on vacation and away from our home type thing. So it's a lot easier to do. Looking for a community that understands your lifestyle? Join SDC, the premier swinger site and app with over 3 million members. Sign up now at SDC.com or download the app and use referral code 36775 for an exclusive 2-week trial. Connect with like-minded individuals and explore new experiences with SDC today. Go to the link in the show notes below. And we're we're back.
We're back.
Still here.
So we kind of touched on how we got into BDSM.
Yeah.
And why we kind of backed off a little bit.
Yeah.
But let's talk about kind of blending our two worlds now.
Yeah. We definitely are stepping more into both worlds together. We're kind of definitely, I mean, like we were saying, there's a lot of curiosity in the lifestyle and a lot of people who want to learn more and they want to know all the things. That. I love it. I do love that. But you'll see dungeons at pretty much every swinger event.
Yeah.
All the resorts and stuff, there's some kind of dungeon
But only
area.
The good ones actually have a dungeon master.
The best dungeon I've ever been to was Secrets. Back when they used to have Carnival Risque there. And they'd have the dungeon master there. And they were so good at just helping everybody.
Well, they were a learning dungeon.
Yeah, too. I loved it. I loved that so much.
They were more than happy to help and educate anybody that walked in there.
There's been quite a few times in the swinger world that we've kind of, did the BDSM stuff, and I was turned off by the way swingers acted. The way swingers, I don't know. I don't think they understand how many years of education and how deep it really gets. And so there's a lot of like when you're in a dungeon, you don't speak, period, unless you're spoken to.
It's a low decibel area.
You stay quiet. You stay silent. You don't want
to interrupt somebody's scene.
A scene is way more than you think it is. It's not just someone bending over and spanking someone. And that's where I think the misconception is. It's not just that. It's a whole entire scene. You have to get into that space. And that's why I was turned off. We did an event last year and it was supposed to be a learning thing. And as soon as I tapped into, it's hard for me. It took me years and years and years and years to learn how to get into subspace. And subspace, if you don't know what that is you feel high. It's like you're in this whole other...
It's a mental state that you actually
disappear.
Let go.
Yeah, disappear physically. Like your mind goes away from your physical and you're in a whole different world. And it's dangerous. It's super dangerous because I have no control over what's happening at that point. And that's why you depend on your dom so much to see that you're there and to keep you there safely and to get you back out of there. And because it can be scary. And I don't think swingers understand that and what subspace is and dob space is and all of that. And so, once you get into subspace, you can't just tap someone on the shoulder and be like, okay, you're done, get up, go. It's not good. That's not what you do.
It's a whole...
And I had never done it in public.
There's a whole recovery and aftercare.
Yeah. And I had never gotten into subspace in public, and I did at that point. And I was allowed 5 minutes and then was expected to just snap out of it and just be good. And there was no focus on any, it was just very...
Yeah.
It was not a good feeling, and I didn't like it. And so we've been very cautious. And plus, let's be honest, just like swingers, there are people, BDSM is hard. There's people that are in charge or think they're in charge who know everything and all the things.
Yeah.
And if you don't know every single thing, fact and can answer every single thing, you are...
There's a egotistical side of BDSM that...
If you meet other doms that are real doms, you'll understand. It's it is a power. It's a power thing.
It's always the whole time, because I've had conversations and drinks with doms or whatever, and it's like a pissing contest.
It is.
And it was I'm not that type of person.
He's a pleasure dom. He's very much a pleasure dom. He doesn't have that big alpha, I'm biggest in the room. He doesn't carry himself quite a few doms do. And so
I don't have to show.
Yeah, you don't have to prove anything.
I'm not there to prove my dominance to this other dude.
Yeah.
I don't all right, man.
Yeah. And so it's hard to I just want to, I think as long as it's consensual, as long as it works for you and your partner or partners, that's all that matters. There is no rule book that you have to follow each thing, or you can't be in the lifestyle. There's private.
Only thing that bugs me in that type of situation is when I see people that don't know what they're doing and are experimenting, which is fine. It's great. But I see unsafe things happening.
I know, the safety part.
And I want to be able to step in and be like, hey, I'm not trying to interrupt. I'm but this is not...
You could kill someone.
It's not safe. Hurt somebody, kill someone.
It's not safe.
And I want to show them the correct way to do it.
No.
And I really don't have like I don't want to. I'm not the type of person to intrude that, and it's like, can we just get out of here? I can't watch this. Like,
it's hard to keep your mouth closed. It's hard to watch people play around with things that they just aren't educated on or about, and it's hard. It's just hard. And we are not saying that we know everything or do everything just because we've done it for so long. We don't. We're always learning. We're always trying to find new ways to let it.
Now, luckily, most people are like they're trying it or have reservations and are intimidated by it and are cautious, so they don't go full throttle. But once you start involving alcohol and rope and impact toys, you lose some type of control. Like you don't have like
someone has to be.
If you've had 4 or 5 drinks and you go to a dungeon at a swingers club and you
can't consent. Well, under the influence of alcohol.
No,
you can't. Period. And so that's where it gets messy and it gets hard to navigate. And I understand people are curious and people want to implement things into the lifestyle and stuff, but it does get confusing and hard, and that's why we just always kind of kept it a private thing. We've always kept it to ourselves.
Well, and the few times where I have like flogged another woman other than you is they can do like, can
people
you flog me?
Want
can
that
you
a lot.
Can you put me on the St. Andrew's cross? Can you
he gets asked all the time to tie them and
it's one thing if the husband comes to me with the wife there, but a lot of times it's just the wife.
So,
and it's like I would love
the ones who really want to experience it's usually a husband and wife thing. It's usually like
there's been a few times where it's just been the wife. Like, I'd love to. Where's your husband?
Consent from all is key.
And it's like she's like he
doesn't care.
He's he told me to go have fun. I'm like, all right, well, that's awesome. Like, I just would feel more comfortable if he was here.
Or I start beating the shit out of you
more than I do.
You're not going to beat the shit out of him, but it's messy. It's complicated. It can be dangerous. And so we've always very carefully navigated that line between the lifestyles. And
what are some of your pet peeves?
For me, like, you're my daddy, period.
Yeah.
And to me, daddy is that's your title, and you earned that title. Yeah. And it took me a long time to give you that title with all of my heart and all my chest. So when people run around, and then especially like when we're, bringing in some BDSM things, and then they start calling you daddy, I can't with it. Like, that's the one way to just, it doesn't make me mad. It doesn't make me like upset or pissed off at them, but
because they don't know.
They don't know, and I know that, and I know they don't understand how deep daddy is for you and me. But like, and I know it's a word a lot of people toss around, lowercase daddy, all the time. But like, you're my uppercase daddy. Yeah. And so it's definitely hard for me now to like, especially now that they know we're in BDSM, they always try to like, bring that up somehow, and that's usually how they go about it.
Men call me daddy.
No one
you're like,
ever asks me. No one ever says, and he runs it by me. Nothing. Like, that's a big word.
Yeah.
For me, anyway, that's a huge, huge word. But yeah, that's like my big, big pet peeve. What about yours?
I think it's just the
safety.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. My other one is safety.
Like seeing it happen, and
trying to help everybody
a lot,
but not you don't want to interject yourself on other people's.
Like, they don't. Who am I to stop it? But also it's like
where's your shears? Where's your where's your safety?
Like, you're going to enjoy a lot more if you do it.
If you do it correctly. Right way. Take your time. Slow down. It doesn't have to be full throttle. Tie you up to a cross and beat you. Like, it can be. It can be
like, you realize
it's so much bigger and deeper.
You do realize that's a slip knot around her neck, right? Like, that's
and you have no way to cut it if it goes bad, and all it takes is seconds, and it's lose all feeling in your arms, have your legs, your body just as a whole. It can get really dangerous. I think people underestimate what is going on and how quick things can go bad. And then, unfortunately, a lot of swinger events include alcohol and drugs, and that's just not safe, period. And then you have the whole consent thing, and you want to make sure everybody's consenting. and everything is consenting.
Well, there's consent, and again, there's the safety, because when you're under the influence of drugs and alcohol, you don't feel the same things.
Yeah.
And you don't have the same control as you do when you're sober.
It all intertwines, it all intermingles. We've been just trying to teeter that line, because we do love both of the lifestyles very much, and I crave it a lot from this lifestyle, and I want to experience new things. Like we were talking about this weekend with the girls, like I do feel like I have a little bit of dominance when it comes to females, that I never even knew that I had any dominance in me, because I've always been so submissive with men and females. But now we've been just playing around with switching those roles, and I'm like, okay, maybe something's in there. Maybe it's been fun to like kind of navigate different parts of it that I didn't know were in it. For so many years I've been the same dynamic, same role for so long.
Yeah.
And now it's been fun to kind of like have other people to kind of test things on and see how I feel, and see I like giving instead of receiving. And it's been fun. It is fun. And there's a lot of curiosity, and people are for the most part, most people want to learn. Most people want to be educated. Most people are open to that. But just have respect for the lifestyle and how deep it goes for a lot of us. And it's not just some floggers and a blindfold, some metal handcuffs. Like, it's way more than that. It's way deeper than that. And it's in a whole entire part of who we are. Yeah. And the disrespect sometimes that I see in the lifestyle when it comes to that kind of irks me. Like I went to a dungeon one time. We went to a dungeon with a bunch of swingers, and it was a working dungeon with real scenes going on in the dungeon by people in the BDSM lifestyle.
Yeah.
And there's signs everywhere, no excuses. And everyone was walking around with their drinks, laughing, making fun of things going on, screaming, just very disrespectful. And that, I think it took us like a whole year for me to kind of like bring it even back out because of that. And so it just gave me a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know. It's just hard we're still navigating. We're still learning.
Yeah.
We're still trying to figure it out too, how to do it. But yeah.
Yeah, I had a moment kind of like that where we were actually at Secrets. I don't know how you do it,
because
we were actually at Secrets, and I was flogging you, and we had a group watching us, which I love.
It's fine. We love being watched. We love it.
There was a couple people that were talking, and that's all I could hear the whole time.
Yeah, and it's just like, just keep quiet. If you want to talk, go outside, go away.
And they were talking, and they were trying. They were trying to explain like what was going on. And I'm like, just stop and enjoy it.
They want us to do a scene, and they want us to get into that space. But then when we're in that space, they don't realize how long it takes to get into that space. They don't realize how long a scene is. A scene is way more than,
like, in that particular, like, it was just a flogging.
It was us, and it was an us thing. We were there doing our own thing. Yeah,
they don't understand. Like, it's not. I don't put you on a cross and I start flogging. Like, there's a whole, like, I have to warm you up.
Yeah, he usually puts my collar on. Like, I have a plate collar. I get on my knees. I submit. I get into the subspace. It's a mental space, and it's way more way more has occurred before they even show up to the part where we're just flogging. Yeah. And that's where a lot of people just jump into it. And I, again, understand that they're curious and they want to learn, but sometimes it's just better just to watch and then ask questions and talk about it later. Yeah. Especially when you're in a dungeon space. If I could give any like tip to lifestylers, if you go into a dungeon, especially one that's not just a swinger dungeon, like a real working BDSM dungeon, and there's stuff going on, just be quiet. Just watch. Just look. Just don't touch. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't interrupt. Keep quiet and just watch. And, and then if you have questions after the scene, we're more than happy to, answer them, to help you, to let you experience whatever you want to experience. But just be respectful. Just be respectful. Keep the alcohol out of the dungeon. Don't be loud. Like, that's all. And yeah, that's like my biggest thing.
In a perfect world, what is your biggest fantasy combining the two?
It's going to be weird for most people, but I've always wanted to be like suspended. I've always wanted to do that. I don't know that I have always just assumed I can't physically do that. I'm probably never going to do that. But one day I would love to just hang there, just hang and let people just admire my body. You know what I mean? I just love being tied. period. And I would love that. But I don't know. That's just one. That's just one. Yeah. That's just one of many.
Do you want to be tied? Do you want people to look like and watch? But do you want to be touched?
Yeah. I want just have do whatever you feel while I hang there. Just surrounded with everybody. Just you do your thing, and then I'll just be hanging in the corner. And if you feel inclined, if you feel like you want to, go ahead, do whatever. I'm helpless. I just want that helpless. I can't. Yeah. I cannot move anything. I don't know. I like to be used too. So that's kind of
a dirty whore.
Yes.
Yes.
What is your biggest fantasy in both worlds?
I think it would involve us, because you've already mentioned, and we've already talked about it before this podcast, but you are dominant with women. I want to dominate.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, I've said that for years. I've said that I would love to do
or a couple
or a woman.
If we could find
even a man would be anybody, literally anybody.
Honestly, if we could find a submissive couple and both dominate them
together.
Both
We've talked about that for years. Yeah, I don't know why I said this ascension thing, because that has been something that I've been wanting to do forever. I want to definitely dom a couple together. I want to watch a couple be submissive together. That'd be hot. That'd be really hot, especially if one of them's not submissive. That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
You could go a whole bunch of different ways with it, because we could both just dominate them. We could turn it into a cuck queen or cuckold situation.
Yeah, that's good.
We could. Chastity belt and cages and key holder and a whole
I'd love to actually get into the BDSM lifestyle within the swinger lifestyle period. Not that I'm tired of this superficial 2 spanks and done, and I would love to have a real scene. Scene.
I'm talking about an actual 2-3 hour scene.
That's what I'm saying. I would love a real BDSM at heart scene with educated people that we don't need to teach, and we don't need to do all the things. Somebody that's already knows all the things, understands the stuff, consents, and we can just play for hours.
Actually have a whole sit down and have a whole negotiation but
instead of just me and you, have other people involved. That would be really hot. We have talked about that for many years, but so far we haven't found that yet.
Actually negotiate an entire scene, because I think it'd be hot, because a lot of people don't know you negotiate limits and everything, and after you're done with that, you just don't go and play. Well, sometimes you do.
Yeah, some people.
But I like to plan my scenes.
Yeah.
And so we'd talk,
and you'd have to trust those people a lot too. Yeah. That's the thing. I don't get in subspace
have very
often
signed
it'd have to be somebody deep, deep. There's a few couples that we could possibly one day.
I think
eventually.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be really good. That'd be hot. No.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. Maybe we'll get lucky enough to find those people in that situation and have the time to do that. That's the hardest part, just finding the time.
I feel like it would have to be somebody that is relatively close, because I would want to go out for dinner and drinks.
Yeah, a whole night.
And have a whole conversation about this, and actually talk about, limits, boundaries, safe words, what they want out of the scene.
I have, and another, going back to clashing the worlds together and bringing the worlds together. Another thing not currently, it's getting better, but I had never watched you dom anyone else. I've never watched you be intimate like that with anyone. And for me, again, it's deeper than swinging. To me, swinging, it's whatever. It's fun. It's temporary and it's done. You know what I mean? But it's so much deeper with BDSM. So I've had to really work on, I've never really had many jealousy issues, especially, over the last couple of years. But if I do, it's been peaking up every once in a while when I see you doing that kind of tying to me is the most intimate thing you can possibly do.
Yeah.
It's very deep for me. And so I have been navigating that feeling, because I just have never experienced it before. It's all new.
Yeah. You've never
and again,
watched
you're my dom, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I've never had to watch you be like that with anyone else. So it's better. But at first, the initial was that's mine, my daddy, that's too deep, because it's too deep, too many feels and stuff. And I had to learn that it was just like swinging, like very much emotionally removed. It wasn't that deep. It's just an art and just for fun. But yeah, that was another, I kind of wanted to touch on that too, because I thought of that when you were talking about that. Yeah, it's another thing to navigate and to figure out. And it's been fun. It's been fun. It's been a ride. It's been a whole lot of things.
Looking to add some excitement to your social life? Meet 3Fun, the free app that connects open-minded singles and couples for fun adventures. With thousands of active users, 3Fun is our ticket to new friendships, flirty encounters, and unforgettable experiences.
The best part? It's completely free to use. No hidden fees or subscriptions. Ready to join the fun? Download 3Fun app now from the App Store or Google Play Store and start connecting with like-minded individuals in your area. Don't miss out on the excitement. Find the link below and get started with 3Fun today. And we're back again. Still here. We've been talking about dom and sub and all of that and our roles and stuff, but I wanted to ask you, how did you determine that you wanted to be a dom, that you felt like you were a dominant person? Because you're not, like we said, I talked earlier about how you're really genuinely, like, you're not a very dominant person.
I think when we started, it was part of it was something I craved. I was just a cog in another end of the machine. It was before I got to any leadership roles, and it was something I wanted to do, and I craved it. And it was when we got started, that was an outlet before I got any type of leadership role.
You craved that, because you didn't have it. So I feel the same way. Like I was saying, I was in charge of the house at all times. I was mom and I was the boss. Because you worked a lot. Like we were hustling and you were gone a lot. And so I kind of held over, control over the house and the little people that lived there and just the household in general. And I craved not being in charge. And it was very freeing to me when I have ADHD, I have ADD, I've got all of these, and I've got anxiety, I've got depression, I've got all of the Ds. And so it was, once I really tapped into what it meant to be a submissive and to give over my power, it was so freeing and so just safe. And it felt so good to not have to worry for a minute, to shut everything off and to have someone have full control over me and everything I was doing and everything I was receiving and giving. And
which is really common in the sub.
It is very, very cliche, very common.
Like there are a lot of very powerful, like influential people that are
enjoy that
sub,
and a lot of people like to dom to also,
and because they are in such a position of power, have to make all the decisions all the time. They want a release,
because I always have been,
they want
in control, a boss, and subspaces alone is addicting as fuck. Like just being in that space.
Yeah. So it's dom space.
It's like you're high. It is. It's a natural high. It's an adrenaline rush. You get this euphoric feeling. Your whole body just blah. Like everything just goes blah. And you don't feel that any other way. It's not something you can, duplicate otherwise. It's its own thing, its own feeling. It took me a lot to get there. It took me tons and tons of years to get there. But once you get there, it is very addicting feeling. And I liked being used. I love being used. I still do in the lifestyle. You'll find me on my knees pretty much in every corner. Like I do love, I'm a very submissive person, and I do crave that a lot. And the lifestyle, unfortunately, it is hard to find people with more dominant aspects that would allow me to
I think part of it too, and I've fallen into this trap as well, is where all the men are trying to be so respectful and not come off creepy. It's hard to come off as, it's a hard line to walk as a man to come off as dominant.
Yeah, I get it.
And attracted to someone and interested in someone and not come off as
controlling, creepy, just and not too much, not pushy.
Yeah,
put the pushy part, because I need somebody to be pushy quite frankly. I need someone who is more dominant, but don't be creepy. Yeah. And it is hard. I get it. I completely get it.
It's a whole paradox. Because I need somebody.
I crave like someone to be dominant with me.
Yeah. But as soon as they cross the line and you're like, oh,
too much. Yeah, you're getting like, too excited. Yeah, it is I feel sorry. I'm not saying it's right. It's just how it is. It's hard. I can't even imagine. There have been a few guys that I am able to be submissive with and that I trust enough and that are more dominant men and they can be, at least with me, can be more dominant. And I love that. But it is very rare and hard to find because fortunately, most men in this lifestyle are super just so sweet and so kind and so caring and so gentle. And, and that usually works.
And I think part of that is because they're trying to be so respectful.
But there's some nights, there's some parties, there's some days that I'm just like, just grab me and do what you want with me. It's hard, especially coming from like that I'm more of a submissive than I am a swinger sometimes, I think. And so it's hard to like, I get it. I sympathize for all the men that are interested in me because I do need you. You need to take lead. You need to take control. It's like I need that submissive person to be sexual.
But not too much.
Yeah, but not too much. Not too. Don't do it like that. I'm just kidding. But it is true. I do need a more dominant partner.
Yeah,
I do for the most part. Other than women, I need like man. If it's going to be a man, it usually has to be someone that takes control, takes the lead. That I'm very clear that wants me. And so it's hard. It's been hard. It's another thing that's been kind of confusing and a little bit harder. Okay, so kind of going off of that, what is it that you like about being dominant? Why do you like to be dominant? And what have you learned over the years of being a dom? And what do you want to prove on? It doesn't have to be all perfect and wonderful.
The responsibility side of it. Like, obviously I like the control. But I like being in control of the entire space. Yeah. That includes everything from consent and safety all the way to what sensations that whoever I'm in the scene with is going to. I love that type of control. I love being able to.
So you don't want to just see people bleed and you just like to give people pain.
I don't like blood play. Pain. I don't like blood play.
But you know what I mean. You don't want to just see people crying and just want to hit them.
No.
That's a huge misconception about it.
What a lot of people is because I am very much a sensation of
pleasure. He's a pleasure dom. Yeah.
Striking and impact play to create other sensations. I use that to bring basically your blood up to the surface of the skin. So it's more sensitive, so I can do other things that you would not.
He's terrifying as a dom because he's not. It's not that. It's so much deeper. Like you always are deeper. You're always going deeper, and I think that's why you don't have to be alpha dominant all the time. Personality type person. That's a little bit more, I think, scarier than even the ones that are like, I'm macho, big man. I make you, do things. It's a little bit more scary because he is very calculated. Every little touch he thinks about way before he does it. Yeah. And like he plans this stuff out. He does like enjoy getting deeper and getting into it's below surface level. It's much deeper than that. I think that makes, and it's hard for me to tell people always like he's such a beta, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, if you only fucking knew, it goes so much deeper than being able to bench a certain amount of pounds and being able to.
Oh, you're talking about like the Instagram trolls and shit?
Just TikTok troll. Everybody.
Well, chances are if somebody's calling somebody a beta.
Yeah, I know. It just irks me so
bad. A cuck.
Yeah, cuck like all day, every day.
Which
we love our cuck friends.
Which
it's a thing.
They're using it as a derogatory term.
It's not a bad thing. We love it is a real life dynamic that we love our cucks.
I'm not. No. But also when they're using,
they always question his dominance because of how he is.
But
he comes across to others.
Obviously projecting.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. I'm not.
That's why
I don't spend any time on that stuff.
That's what I was getting at. Is they're obviously projecting.
Yeah, you don't come off though as like why dom.
That's what you get upset about it. I just blow it off.
I get upset. I just get annoyed because like they don't even understand how dominant of a person you really are, and they just look at you doing a TikTok for 2 seconds and think that they know. Like, yeah. everything. It's just annoying. But yeah, I do think that it even makes you better of a dom the way that you do scenes and you plan out all of your things. And
I've had compliments.
And you're good. You're good at it. And I already said kind of why I naturally love submissive. I just don't want to be in charge. I just don't. I like to be used. I do. I still do. I think it's getting even more deeper every year that we go. I get more submissive and more. I would like to be used. I do like to shut off. I like to turn off. I like to give the power over. That's what I enjoy about it. But yeah, and then like, I guess kind of if people are interested in being in the BDSM lifestyle or getting to know more about the BDSM lifestyle, what would you recommend?
First, I would research,
educate yourself. There's so much education out there. So many resources,
different avenues you can go down. Like, as BDSM is such a broad term, and you find what you want, and it can be
whatever you want it to be.
Yeah,
and so it gets real deep.
Next one would be join a site like
FetLife. We've been on FetLife for many, many years. And that's where we found like munches. We'd meet, like we see like local groups, local events, much like swinging. FetLife has a lot of what SDC does. It has a lot of events, parties.
Yeah, instead of meet and greets, they're called munches.
Yeah, munches is a meet and greet in that lifestyle. But yeah, you find a lot of resources on actually like real life events there and local stuff that if you want to.
Well, and a lot of the
dungeons,
BDSM communities, like local communities, are so safeguarded because
they are very for good reason.
You are like to even get invited to a dungeon or a house party or something like that within that community. You have to go to a munch just to get vetted.
Yeah, the vetting is a big way deeper than it is in swinger lifestyle. It's deep, but for good reason. Again, safety, consent, all of the things. And there is a lot of deeper stuff that people go into at these places. It's a lot more dangerous.
And when going to the things, you just have to be honest in yourself.
Yeah.
Don't pretend like you're a super experienced sub
and you know everything.
And you know everything. You just have to be honest with if you say, if you're new to BDSM, you say, we're new, we're experimenting.
Much like swingers.
And we want to learn from more experienced people.
Yeah, just be willing to learn.
And there's not one person in that room that would be like, get out.
No, just like swinging. Just like with our swinging lifestyle, like if you have questions, and I always say if you're going into it, be honest with people that are there or wherever you're at and just say, hey, I'm new. I have no idea what I'm doing. I guarantee you will have so many people. There's going to be bad apples here and there, but you will have the majority of the people there are more than happy to take your hand, to teach you all the things, introduce you to all their friends who will teach you things, and just meet people. Yeah. Just meet, communicate.
And the third thing I would say is, like, piggybacking off of that, is watch out for the red flags, the fake doms and the fake subs.
Fake sub too.
Yeah. They
give themselves that title.
And by looking for that, you're basically looking for the man or woman that knows absolutely everything. Say most dominant personalities don't need to command a room. It's drawn to them.
No, it naturally happens.
So watch out for
because they're confident and they carry themselves because they're educated,
bragging and they know about everything,
and want you to submit to them. Period.
Yeah,
that demands you to submit to them just because they
honorifics.
Declare themselves a dom.
Yeah,
that's a huge red flag. If they just because you're a submissive and they say they're a dom and they demand your submission immediately, that is the biggest red flag.
Oh yeah,
submission is earned. Or you're
and that's somebody that doesn't understand what real submission is.
Yeah.
I mean.
You're literally giving all of your power over.
Yeah, like it's a power exchange.
Yeah.
Where you're giving your power to me.
Yeah.
And it's my responsibility.
It's earned and it's done with respect and consent. Yeah. And whoever's going at the slowest speed, again, you go with their speed.
Watch out for the people that
you don't push people.
I don't need safe words.
Yeah. Oh gosh, no. I don't need safe words or safe signals or anything. I don't need safety equipment. I don't need shears, and I don't need all the, water. You don't need aftercare. Aftercare is for wussies, and aftercare is, I'm too cool to have aftercare as a dom or a sub, because doms and subs both need aftercare, which is something a lot of people don't understand and don't know. It's a space for both of us that we both go into. It's not just me. It's not just you. It's both of us. And aftercare looks different for everybody, but you still have to be open to have that conversation. If that person's not even open to having that conversation, don't do it. Be careful. Trust your gut too. Man, you just know if someone's full of it. You just can tell. You just can feel it. And if you don't trust it, don't give your life to someone else, because that's what you're doing when you're in that, it's terrifying. Be careful. Make sure that you're practicing safely. Make sure you have all the safety equipment. Everyone's hydrated. Water is very important.
Don't be afraid to ask for contact information of previous partners.
Oh, yeah. Referrals. Yeah, referrals off of people that they might have played with before. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of dom sub relationships and
they
just don't last forever.
Yeah.
But if you could be like, who are your previous, subs or previous doms?
Yeah.
Can I, contact them?
Make sure you're safe and
get their input. And
they should have no problem with that if they have done everything. And because usually, people evolve, things change, dynamics change, and just like a breakup, people just move on to other partners and other dynamics and other things. And as long as you're being respectful and careful and safe, they should have no problem being able to speak to those people you've done scenes with or played with or had a dynamic with. But that's a big one. For rope bondage, we've used 2 Naughty Boys has been our go-to learning.
Yeah,
they have a couple
books. They have 2 volumes,
and they have pictures, and they're easy to understand.
It's a very good beginner's guide to a lot of your
those
basic knots, and then how to use those basic knots into full pieces.
Yeah, that's one.
And then, really, people are always worried about knowing how to do full body harnesses and ties, and what they don't realize is shibari is art.
Yeah.
Once you understand the basic knots and concepts, then
it's an art. Whatever
you can make it whatever you want.
On anything. There's no perfect way. There can be interpreted any way you want, and it can be used any way that you want to. But just safety first. Just be safe. Educate yourself. Go meet people. It's very similar to the swinger lifestyle. Same things, very same things. It's just respect. Just be honest. Just don't, do anything that you wouldn't do otherwise. But it's no different than
Use
that.
your common sense.
Common sense, just educate. Just as we say with the swinger land, it's all very similar. And just have fun. And as long as you're having fun, and as long as it works, whatever it is, no matter how weird people might think it is, it's okay. As long as it works for you and your partner or partners, it doesn't matter. We're not all perfect, and we're not going to make it perfect every single time. But the more you do experience stuff, and the more you educate and open your mind, you never know where it could take you. And so I do recommend just learning as many things as you possibly can. And you never know what you might find.
Hey there, listeners. Are you looking to prioritize your sexual health and wellness? We've got just a thing for you. Shameless Care offers at-home testing kits, telehealth consultations, and even treatment for ED and performance anxiety for when you want to play, but your body says otherwise. It's convenient, discreet, and all about keeping you at your best. And guess what? We've teamed up with them to give you an exclusive discount. Use code HOT, that's code HOT, at checkout to get $30 off your first order. Don't walk, run. It's time to take charge of your sexual health today with Shameless Care, because your health is nothing to be ashamed of.
All right, and that's really all the time that we have about that. Unfortunately, an hour is not very long to no at
there's
all.
A lot
once we get started, it's damn it, it's already over, and there's so much more we need to say. But we do plan on doing another episode, more educational. This was just more our experience in our dynamic and all of that in BDSM, and questions that our friends had been asking for many years, wanted to hear more in detail about how we felt about it and how what we liked about it, and they've just been curious about that kind of stuff. And Yeah. Then it's Thursday. So the next episode is going to be about my Pineapples After Dark weekend. I am going off on another hot wife adventure alone. That's all I've done this year has been hot wifing alone. You're going with Ash alone,
this week, and this time though.
Yeah, and possibly her husband. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have friends there, but I'm still alone, and it's still like a whole different experience now that I've been doing this stuff alone. But he has taken a new role on, and he works weekends, so he gets it all over on the weekend, which is fine. It works great for our normal everyday vanilla life, but this swinger life, it does not work well for. So I've had to. I started hot wifing.
I'm still here to normalize weekday parties.
Yeah, he likes a good Tuesday,
Tuesday orgy
shenanigan. But I am, unfortunately, the whole world works on weekend parties. So I'm going to Atlanta tomorrow. This is Thursday now. We're recording this, but I'm leaving tomorrow, and I will be in Atlanta till Sunday. And I am taking Ash, who we talked to last week, and she is going to be sharing the room with me on Saturday. Friday, I'm kind of by myself. I'm just kind of there for the party. I was invited to come a day early, and so I'm never going to shy away on an extra day with my friends. So I'm doing Friday and Saturday, and then I'll be home Sunday. So I'm going to try not to tell him too many details and spew too much stuff, which is very hard for me because I tell him literally everything all the time, especially usually as soon as it happens. So I'm going to try and keep it all in. I'm going to try and keep all the stories to myself. And then immediately, as soon as I get home, I want to just get on here and we can all talk about what happened because it should be fun. It should be exciting. I'm getting more comfortable.
It'll work out actually because you come home Sunday. Mm-hmm. I have to work Sunday night.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, I think I can hold it until Monday. Yeah.
And then we could record Monday.
That's what I'm thinking. So you're going to get the raw. I'm going to try and keep it to myself and get the raw experience and kind of talk more about my hot wife journey and something I never saw coming and how our rules and boundaries and all of that. It was an us thing. It always was. And we always said it if it was an us thing. And that has been our phrase that we've always used. So it's been a whole new experience and still navigating the experience, but it's getting easier now that I'm getting more comfortable with this group. And we love Pineapples After Dark. If you don't know, they are based in the Atlanta area, Georgia area, and a lot of their parties are in that area. And we're lucky enough to only live 2 hours away from them. And they are some amazing, amazing humans. And they have a team of other amazing humans. They struck gold, and they throw some good parties, and they know how to take care of everyone that shows up to their parties. They know how to make them feel special, and you always feel like you're a VIP when you party with them. And I love what they're doing for the community. I love their heart. I love it all. So definitely, if you're in that area, come check it out. And I'm usually there on my lonesome, but I'm there supporting our friends. And maybe one day soon he'll be there as well.
Hopefully. I jumped on their live yesterday, Instagram live yesterday or something like that. And they're like, when are you going to finally make a party?
Because the first one we went to with them was us. It was in us.
Yeah. The first one, we went to that meet and greet.
Yeah. It's just.
And then that next month, we went to.
It's like they're too close for me not to go.
Birthday party.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
And that was the last time I went to a pad.
Yeah. And it's been a fun time. You've been missing out.
I know.
It's been a good one. And then we're bringing our friends from our other, like their swinger society, other groups that we've hung out with are starting to intermingle with this group, and it's turning into something amazing and fabulous. I love seeing all of our friends that we've made over the last few years, and then all of the new people that are in the area and stuff. So it's been good. So definitely, if you're in the area, check out Pineapples After Dark. And then we will be both together at Secrets.
Yes.
Secrets is coming October 3rd through 6th, and that is coming really fast. We only have a few weeks for that one. Yeah. We are hosting a room crawl, a BDSM room crawl, actually. Ironically, he's going to be hopefully doing some chest ties. That's the plan. And we've got some goodie bags and some things. And we have a cage. And we've got the swings and all the tie downs.
Is there a St. Andrew's cross in there?
No, there's there's ties everywhere, though. It's like, there's like so many of them. But it's the rest of it is all like BDSM. I don't know, maybe.
Or maybe a bench.
It's hard. They give you one picture, really, and that's what you get. So
I'm still trying to think of where exactly it's at. I know you told me the number, but
Yeah, but we were there. We're hosting room crawls, so if you're there, come stop by and say hello. We'll have drinks and food like we do every time, and goodie bags, and come say hello, hang out. We love room crawl. Room crawl's like one of our favorite things about the weekend. We started room crawl way before there was an official room crawl day. We used to just have everyone come over for margaritas and pizza, and then everyone would come to our room on Friday. Yeah, and we've saved many lives during the room unofficial room call. We would just have host people like Friday nights and would have pizza and margaritas. That's our thing.
Have like 15, pizza and margaritas. 20 people just hanging out in our room.
And and now it's like an official, like everyone does. It's all official and set up and organized, but we still love a good room crawl. We love meeting people. So if you ever see us, you ever are around, definitely come say hi. Don't be shy, because we love meeting new people. We love all of that part. Are
the secrets sold out?
Not yet, no. There's still a few rooms left, and now they have a Friday into Saturday option. So you don't have to stay Thursday through Sunday anymore. It's not the 4 days, and you're also able to share rooms. I know that works out to help with the cost, because it's not cheap going to secrets and stuff, but it helps with the cost. All you have to do is buy the day passes, the other couple, and then you can split a room with someone. And there's a lot of two queen beds and ginormous king beds and stuff, whatever works for you, but pull out couches stuff. So that's always an option too. Definitely. Secrets is always a good time.
Yeah.
And Singer Society is always a fun group, and they know how to throw a party as well. So definitely look into that if you're curious and if you're looking for stuff to do in the lifestyle. But yeah, that route sums that up. That's all we really got to say about that. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And if you have any questions or you ever want to add anything, we have our email. All of that is in our link trays. And don't be shy.
Find it all in the show notes.
Always looking for people that want to know more and ask more questions. And it's all in the show notes. And we will talk to you again very soon. Thank you for being here. We love you.
It's not that serious.
Don't make it weird. Bye, guys.